Well, we're back at the river garden. It's 31st Saturday. It's 1:15. We've been here a couple hours, and we finished pulling all the tomatoes. They're in those two trash cans. All the stakes are over there in the shed. And we're pulling the okra now, and I'll show you what we do to compost our okra stalks. Okra plants have a lot of roots. This is a big one. And see all the roots? You can't really pull those out. You can pull the small ones, but not the big ones. And the secret to pulling these things out when they get big, my brother just did that one, is to come up on the plant, stick it right about that far away, angle down, and just go in, and that'll cut at least the roots off of one side.
That one right there needs to be saved.
Alright, that was one of my savers. So I'll leave that in there while I pull this up. See how far that root's going? And then if you bang them on each other, you can get all the dirt off of them, the soil. But that's all you have to do, is just go through half of them and pull back on the shovel, and then anybody can pull them out. That's got a big root. And then we stack them on that fence with all the root ends on one end, and then we'll carry them over there and put them up on that board and chop them into smaller pieces. That would decompose over time, but you're talking a long time. The smaller the piece of material that you're trying to compost, the quicker it composts. So we're going to cut these in about 6-8 inch lengths. This is one of them that's split and put out new shoots. And look how long a root is on that. I would say that is, oops, I knocked my head off under the apple tree. I'd say that's probably over 4 feet long. Well, there are two ways you can do this. One, you can take a board on the sawhorse or anything, and you can take a machete and cut them into pieces. The only problem with that is when you get to the big ones. See? A lot of cuts. And what I like to do is use this. Now I'm usually wearing gloves, and my bride is usually holding the other end of this. But see, she's feeding it to me, so it makes it a lot easier. And I would suggest you wear gloves if you do this. And it's a lot easier when somebody's feeding it to you. And all you have to do is make the cuts. And we had this sawhorse up on that end. We pulled those leaves to the center here where they were, and we chopped up a bunch right through there and spread them out with a rake and covered them up with leaves, and then we chopped some more there and covered them up with leaves. Now we're going to chop all these up and cover it up with these leaves and chop the rest of them up right here and pull some more of those leaves over. If we have some more okra plants, we will put them under those leaves. If they're exposed to air and sun, they'll get hard and brittle. If you cover them with leaves, they stay green and they decompose quicker. And the same applies to corn stalks. You can do them the same way. And the recip saw is a whole lot easier on a corn stalk because they're a lot thicker and a lot more sinewy. You can see one or two pieces sticking up above the leaves. But you just want it under the leaves, and the leaves are getting ready to fall. You can see those over there getting brown, so we'll put more leaves over this and they will stay green. So like being in a refrigerator with covering over them, and they will just decompose quickly, and this will be ready to use next year. Well, this is 18 minutes later, and we chopped them all up using my recip saw, and I pulled those leaves back, and then all I have to do is pull those leaves over top and cover this. We still have a few in the garden. We've left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now some of those have some on them and the next one to it doesn't, so rather than disturb the roots, we're not going to fool with it. Well, we got to get home before the goblins come out. It's 3:30 on Halloween, Saturday, 31st October, and see all the okra stalks are chopped up and under the compost pile. We cleaned up the other end of the beds, and this is compost on top. So we got compost at the bottom for about a foot, and then we've got this much, and you know how high this was, but see all the weight of this is compressed up, and so that's going to work great for us. We've left some okra standing for seed. We pulled up all these irrigation lines, all of these. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. The beans are still got irrigation. We've got a couple, that squash plant's still producing. And the flowers are pretty. Peppers are still okay. All kinds of little things coming off of that marigold. And all this is ready for leaves. Time to go up the country. And we got all the poles back, all that tomato stakes back in this old shed, which we hope to tear down and put a new one on the other side of that fig tree.